Hello and welcome to Blasters and Boomsticks. We're your hosts Dan and Grant. Today we're doing Hideaway, the 1995 movie based on the Dean Koontz novel. So here we go. Jeff Goldblum stars as a man who, after being brought back from the dead, begins to see through the eyes of a vicious killer. So, Grant, Hideaway, what do we think?
Wow, what a blast from the past, let me say.
Mm.
I remember this is kind of like it is a movie, but it's kind of as a kind of an era of a TV movie about
Yeah.
the film. Yeah, I must go out on a limb and say I have two trains of thoughts for this film. I quite enjoy it, and especially I think the second half of the film I really like. The premise I love. I think I think the premise is probably slightly better than the execution, in my opinion. Um, I think Jeff Goldblum is wonderful to watch, and angry Jeff Goldblum is great to watch
Yeah.
towards the end. I think we kind of tread water for a little bit. I think that's the film's problem. We tread water. It's kind of, especially, I think now it's standard fare watching some of this stuff. Kind of when I've explained this film to a couple of friends, saying, "Oh, I'm watching this film. What's it about?" And they kind of, "Oh yeah." Kind of sounds like something I've kind of seen or something.
Yeah.
Whereas before, in 1995, it was pretty, I would say, new territory.
Yeah.
Not spanking new, but new. What about your first thoughts? What did you think?
I love it. I do, unashamedly. I think it's a great film for me. I think, like I said, the premise is fantastic. The performances are brilliant. Especially you've got a very young Jeremy Sisto, who I've seen. Who was in the original Wrong Turn.
Yeah,
There's been quite a lot since this film. Very young Alicia Silverstone, and Alfred Molina. So it's got a great cast.
well, it's got. I genuinely forgot his name. He plays the cop. He's in a very thankless kind of role.
Kenneth Welsh.
That's it, Kenneth Walsh. Yeah, and he's been in quite. He's a beautiful character actor. He was in The Void recently. That saw him as the antagonist. Great. So the cast is brilliant.
Yeah,
Full of
yeah.
like either great actors or great character TV actors.
I think that's the thing. I think it's a good film. I think it's strong performances, a really interesting story. I think it's done as well as it could have been, given the restrictions of the special effects at the time. I do think it's hindered by its use of CGI and its very early CGI to sort of do the whole heaven and hell sort of aspect, and the sort of the angel and demon aspect maybe could have been realised in a different way. We've seen stuff done before and done better, and I think that's the thing that lets it down. Watching it with my other half, because there's an overuse of CGI right at the beginning, she was like, "Oh, this looks shit," and then she really enjoyed it, and she got to the end of the final confrontation, and she was like, "No, I'm done. It's took me out of it." So again, for her, it was such a strong film.
Yeah.
Apart, and it just let itself down with its execution.
I think I can absolutely see where she's coming from, and I think it probably, if you were to show this to someone now, I think my partner didn't watch it with me, but I think she would be of the exact same opinion. Early CGI at the time, it was kind of wanting to show off new technology. So you imagine, like, and the thing is, people have seen that, by this time, Terminator 2 is 3-4 years old.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
It's the same director as Lawnmower Man, so I think it's such used to working visually that way.
Yes.
That it's a really, you can see why he went down the CG route.
I think the film is just, I've not read the novel. Dean Koontz hates the film with a passion and fought to have his name removed from everything. But I think the film, there's clearly, I think, a lot more to be explored. And when I watch a film like this, I think the problem is you don't want to be hitting 2-3 hours with a film like this, because I think the second half of the film, the pacing is perfect. It is perfect.
Yeah.
I think we get a few too many now, like scenes where we get Jeff Goldblum like back and forth and seeing visions, because as audience, like watching it now, we quickly hook in and know what's going off.
Yeah.
But I kind of always leave the film wanting more. So
Yeah.
it is good. I do think it was a little bit ahead of its time as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I did read the novel,
Yes.
and I read the novel after I saw this for the first time. But going back, the first time I saw this film was it's a long, long time ago. I was still in my teens, so it
Yeah.
was, I don't remember much about the novel, but I don't remember there being a great deal of difference. And people might say that I'm wrong. People, that's fair
Yeah.
enough for those to comment, being fans of the book or whatever. But I don't remember there being a massive amount of difference as the plot goes forward.
Yeah.
Other than sort of changing the daughter who they had that died
Yeah.
was, I think, was it a car accident?
Yeah, it was cancer, wasn't it?
In the book, yeah, it was
Blood,
cancer in the book, yeah. So I think there's sort of changes like that, but it's not something that would affect the overall plot.
No, I think I think this film is a perfect candidate for a remake, even though
Yes.
I am not. I want original ideas, and I like films to stand the test of time forever. The pockets of windows. I want to go back and see the CGI because I appreciate historically where everything's
Yes.
come
Yeah.
from. But a film to me that for budgetary reasons, for the kind of movie it is, just could probably the premise had such a huge potential that I think it would be great now to go back and be able to have kind of less is more,
Yeah.
or more sophisticated effects that don't take away from performances
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I also, and it sounds crazy, but I also wouldn't be averse to a Jeff Goldblum still leading the film from an
Yeah.
older
No.
perspective.
I was just gonna say when you mentioned about doing a remake, I said and keep Goldblum as Hatch.
Yeah.
I really would, because he's one of those performers. I get people saying, "Oh, it's just Jeff Goldblum and everything," but although he doesn't adopt accents or doesn't really change his look or anything, there is a subtle difference in his performances. Yes, he has the wide-eyed, sort of excitable
Yeah.
side to him, which he is like in real life apparently. But his Hatch Harrison isn't Ian Malcolm. Ian Malcolm isn't Seth Brundle. There is a big difference in these characters, and he's so good in this. He's
Once he starts getting guns and kind of figuring out, what this killer, the Sargo, is going to be doing and going to threaten the daughter and stuff, and he starts bringing weapons and his performance is fantastic. I think he's
Action Goldblum.
brilliant. Need to see more of it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I think if they were to schedule, I think you could. I think there's probably material in there for a series, a short-lived kind of mini series or something. I think Heaven and Hell, and they're not scared to go into all of that. And I really think that it's just I watch it and I go, really enjoyed that, and I still did. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I remember getting it on DVD from my mum for Christmas years and years ago as a teen. I really enjoyed it. We sat and watched it together. And still now to this day, I always going, oh, I just want more. I just love the idea and the concept. So yeah, it's I think people should see it. I think it's one of the little gems that people need to go out and watch.
Yeah, definite recommendation then.
Absolute recommendation. I think the CGI thing, I get where people are coming from, but it's part of your history of CGI, and I think sometimes it's kind of, even though it's a little bit off-putting in place, it's nice to see where this started. And there's some, especially when Goldblum's CGI at the beginning, I kind of like it. It kind of adds to the, like, disconnectedness of dying. So yeah.
That's it. A film that's happy to kill off its leading man within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously to bring it back, but yeah, it's quite, it's a great step. But again, I'm with you. I highly recommend it. I very highly recommend it, and I think more people should see it because I don't think it didn't touch with audiences very well. It's not been available either for a while, and it deserves people's attention. All around great performances. Like I said, highly recommended. If you can get past that CG without scoffing it, if you appreciate, like we do, sort of cinema and where effects, they do take the place in in cinema history and stuff, and the quality of things. I mean, you can go and watch Blade and think Stephen Dorff turns into a giant rubbery raspberry at the end,
Absolutely.
but still enjoy Blade.
Absolutely.
So I think if you can get past that,
it's the CGI's bookends the film, doesn't it? Let's face it,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. That's it. That's all it does. Yeah, it's just it opens in it and it closes it, and you
Yeah.
know, if you can get past that, then you'll have a really, really good time. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and a nice little shout out. Sisto is fantastic. Goldblum is. I think Melina's good in a very limited amount of screen time that he
Yeah.
gets as well.
Yeah.
So
100%. But yeah, so thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you go out and watch Hideaway. Really do. If you like, share, and subscribe, we'd really appreciate that. And then until next time, that's goodbye from us.